In the scorching heat of the American Southwest, there exists a town that shouldn't exist. A place where the law doesn't just turn a blind eye. It doesn't exist at all. Welcome to Redemption Falls, where every sheriff is an outlaw, every judge is a thief, and survival means playing by rules written in blood. This is the story of how ordinary people became extraordinary criminals, and how a frontier town became the most dangerous experiment in American history. The stagecoach rattles through the desert, kicking up clouds of red dust that hang in the air like smoke. Inside, a young woman named Sarah clutches her father's letter to her chest. Her fingers trace the words she's memorized. Come to Redemption Falls. I've made something of myself here. A fresh start awaits. She doesn't know yet that fresh starts in Redemption Falls come with a price. The driver, a weathered man named Dutch, calls back through the window. His voice carries a warning wrapped in casual conversation. First time to the falls, miss? Sarah nods, pushing aside the leather curtain to see his grizzled face. Yes, my father sent for me. He's the town banker. Dutch's laugh is sharp and bitter, like whiskey going down wrong. Banker, right. Well, miss, let me give you some advice your daddy probably should have mentioned in that letter. In Redemption Falls, we got rules. Strange rules. But you follow them, you might just make it through your first week. Sarah's stomach tightens. What kind of rules? The kind that keep decent folk alive in a town run by the indecent. The town appears on the horizon like a mirage. But this is no illusion. Two-story buildings line a main street that's wider than most frontier towns. Too wide, as if the founders expected trouble and wanted room to run. The stagecoach rolls to a stop outside the Lucky Devil Saloon. Sarah steps down, and the first thing she notices is the silence. In a town of several hundred people, there's an eerie quiet. No children playing, no merchants calling out their wares, just watchful eyes from every window and doorway. A man approaches, well-dressed in a black suit that's seen better days, but still finer than anything else in sight. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Miss Sarah Dalton, I presume. Your father told me you'd be arriving. I'm Mayor Silas Cord. Welcome to Redemption Falls. Sarah accepts his handshake, noting the calluses. These aren't the hands of a politician. Thank you, Mayor. Where might I find my father? Silas's smile falters for just a heartbeat. The bank, naturally. But first, allow me to explain how things work here. Consider it an orientation of sorts. He gestures to the saloon. Inside, despite the early hour, the place is full. Men play card with stacks of money that seem too large for a frontier town. Women in silk dresses serve drinks. Everything looks prosperous. Too prosperous. Redemption Falls was founded 15 years ago by people who didn't fit anywhere else. Outlaws, certainly, but also dreamers. Visionaries. People who believe society's rules were arbitrary. Sarah's voice is steady, but her heart races. You're saying this is an outlaw town? I'm saying this is a free town, Miss Dalton. We have no federal law here. No territorial governor breathing down our necks. We govern ourselves. That sounds like chaos. Silas's laugh is genuine this time. You'd think so, wouldn't you? But here's the beautiful irony. When everyone's a criminal, everyone understands the value of order. We have laws here. Strict ones. We just made them ourselves. He pulls out a small leather-bound book and hands it to Sarah. The cover reads, The Compact of Redemption Falls. Rule 1. No killing within town limits unless sanctioned by the council. Break this, you hang at dawn. Rule 2. All disputes are settled by the council or by duel. No exceptions. Rule 3. What happens outside Redemption Falls stays outside. We don't discuss our business ventures beyond these borders. Rule 4. Every resident pays their tithe to the town treasury. 10% of all earnings, legal or otherwise. Rule 5. Betray the town to federal authorities, and your entire bloodline is forfeit. Sarah's hands shake as she holds the book. This is insane. This is survival, Miss Dalton. Your father understood that. He's become quite successful here. The bank is impressive, built from real brick hauled across the desert at tremendous expense. Inside, Sarah finds her father behind a mahogany desk that belongs in San Francisco, not a frontier town. Sarah, my girl. Thomas Dalton embraces his daughter, but she pulls back, studying his face. He's aged since she saw him last. Not just older, harder. Papa, what is this place? The mayor says everyone here is a criminal. Thomas guides her to a chair, his expression serious. Sit down. You deserve the truth. He moves to the window, looking out at the street. 5 years ago, I embezzled $50,000 from the bank in Kansas City. I was caught, facing 20 years in prison. A man named Silas Cord offered me a choice: prison or redemption falls. Sarah's world tilts. You're a thief. I'm a survivor. And here, I'm respected. I run a legitimate bank that serves people who can't get banking anywhere else. Yes, the money comes from robberies, cons, and crimes. But I provide a real service. I've built something. Built something? On stolen money. Thomas turns, his eyes pleading. Sarah, out there in the so-called civilized world, men steal with contracts and finiprint. They ruin lives legally. Here, at least we're honest about what we are. And we take care of our own. Before Sarah can respond, gunshots crack through the afternoon air. The street empties in seconds, people vanishing into buildings with practiced efficiency. Sarah rushes to the window. Two men face each other in the wide street, guns drawn. Silas appears beside her. Council-sanctioned duel. James Riker accused Tom Morrison of cheating at cards. The council investigated, found merit to the claim. Now, they settle it. You're going to let them kill each other? I'm going to let them resolve their dispute the way our laws prescribe. Watch. The two men fire simultaneously. Morrison drops, clutching his leg. Riker's shot clearly wasn't meant to kill. He walks over, helps Morrison up. Consider your debt paid, Riker says. Doc Miller will patch you up. They shake hands. The town returns to life as if nothing happened. Sarah stares. I don't understand. Thomas speaks softly. Duels here are rarely to the death. They're about satisfaction, honor. We need every person in this town. We can't afford to lose people over petty grievances. But you have a rule about sanctioned killing. For serious crimes, Silas explains. Murder, rape, betrayal of the town. Those get you killed. But a card game dispute? A wounded leg settles that just fine. That evening, Sarah attends what they call the council meeting. The town's leadership gathers in the back room of the saloon. She recognizes Silas, her father, a woman named Black Mary who apparently runs half the brothels in 3 territories. A Native American man called John Crow who leads the town scouts, and a quiet figure in the corner who everyone defers to. That's the preacher, her father whispers. Real name unknown. He founded this place. Some say he was a Confederate officer who couldn't go home after the war. Others say he was a Union spy who betrayed both sides. Nobody asks. The preacher's voice, when he speaks, is surprisingly gentle. We have a situation. The territorial governor has been asking questions about redemption falls. A federal marshal may be headed this way. The room erupts in concerned murmurs. Black Mary speaks up, her voice sharp. We've handled marshals before. They ride in, look around, find nothing illegal, ride out. This one's different, John Crow says. His name is Clayton Reeves. He's smart, persistent, and he lost a brother to outlaws. He'll dig deeper. Silas leans forward. Options. We could remove him, someone suggests. Make it look like an accident. The preacher shakes his head. No, killing a federal marshal brings the army. We don't survive that. Sarah finds herself speaking before she can stop herself. Why not show him the truth? Every eye turns to her. Her father looks mortified. Excuse me, Silas says. Sarah stands, surprised by her own boldness. You've built something here. A functioning society. Yes, it's made of criminals, but you have order. Laws. People follow rules. Maybe if he sees that, he'll leave you alone. Black Mary laughs. Girl's been here 6 hours, and she's giving strategy advice. But the preacher is nodding slowly. The innocent perspective. It has merit. Marshal Reeves expects to find chaos. Lawlessness. What if he finds the opposite? 3 days later, Marshal Clayton Reeves rides into Redemption Falls with 2 deputies. He's younger than Sarah expected, with sharp eyes that miss nothing. The town has prepared. Businesses operate normally. People go about their day. There's no panic, no hiding. It's the most normal-looking frontier town Reeves has ever seen, which immediately makes him suspicious. Silas greets him in the street. Marshal Reeves, welcome to Redemption Falls. How can we help you? You can start by telling me why a town this prosperous has no federal presence. No lawman. No records with the territorial office. We're independent. Self-governing. Nothing illegal about that. Reeves dismounts. I've heard interesting things about this place. That wanted men hide here. That stolen money flows through your bank. That you're running a criminal enterprise disguised as a town. I've heard we make good whiskey and mind our own business, Silas replies evenly. You're welcome to look around. We have nothing to hide. It's a calculated risk. Show confidence. Act innocent. Make him work for evidence that doesn't exist in plain sight. For 2 weeks, Marshal Reeves investigates. He interviews residents, examines the bank's books, carefully prepared ledgers that show legitimate, if questionable, transactions. He attends a council meeting where they discuss water rights and building permits. Sarah becomes his inadvertent guide. As the newest arrival, she's the least suspicious person in town, and she's genuinely conflicted, which reads as honesty. Why did you come here? Reeves asks her one evening on the hotel porch. My father sent for me, said he'd made something of himself. And has he? Sarah pauses, choosing her words carefully. He runs a bank. He's respected. He seems content. But I'm realizing the world isn't as simple as I thought. Out there, people follow laws because they fear punishment. Here, people follow laws because they agreed to them. I'm not sure which is more civilized. Reeves studies her. The law isn't arbitrary, Miss Dalton. It's the foundation of society. Is it? Or is it just the rules made by whoever has the most power? Here, everyone has power. Everyone has a say. Isn't that democracy? Democracy among criminals is still criminal. And justice in a corrupt system is still corrupt. They sit in silence, watching the sun set over the town. Somewhere a piano plays. Children, she's seen them now, kept hidden at first, run through the streets playing tag. It looks like peace. On the 15th day, Reeves calls for a town meeting. Everyone gathers in the street. Sarah stands beside her father, her heart pounding. I came here expecting to find a nest of vipers. Reeves begins. A lawless hellhole that needed to be cleaned out. And I found something else entirely. The crowd is silent. I found a functioning society. People following rules. Disputes settled fairly. Property rights respected. Children going to school. It's bizarre. It shouldn't work. But it does. Silas steps forward. So you'll leave us be? I didn't say that. Reeves pulls out a stack of wanted posters. I found 12 wanted men and women in this town. 12 people with prices on their heads, including your mayor, your banker, and that woman who runs the brothel. According to federal law, I should arrest all of you. Black Mary laughs. You and whose army, Marshal? Reeves doesn't smile. According to federal law. But I've been thinking about Miss Dalton's question. What makes a law just? Is it just because it's written down? Or because people consent to it? The preacher moves forward from the crowd. What are you saying, Marshal? I'm saying I have a decision to make. I can arrest 12 people and tear apart a community that's harming no one. Or I can report that Redemption Falls is a quiet frontier town with suspicious prosperity but no provable crimes. In exchange for... Silas asks, in exchange for the town council agreeing to 3 new rules. No harboring of murderers or violent criminals. No raids on federal property or mail. And every 2 years, the town allows a federal inspection. The crowd murmurs. The preacher and Silas exchange glances. That's a treaty, Thomas says. You're offering us legitimacy. I'm offering you a chance to prove this experiment can work. That criminals can choose civilization over chaos. But one violation, and I come back with that army your friend mentioned. The council convenes that night. The debate is fierce. Some want to refuse to maintain complete independence. Others see the wisdom in compromise. Sarah finds herself in the meeting, somehow having become a voice people listen to. My father told me people here are honest about what they are. So be honest now. Do you want to remain criminals? Or do you want to be something more? Black Mary speaks up, her voice tired. I've been running from the law for 20 years. I am tired. If we can stop running, if we can build something real here, isn't that worth compromise? The vote is close, but it passes. Marshal Reeves leaves the next morning. Sarah walks with him to his horse. You took a risk, she says. What if they betray the agreement? Then I'll come back and do my job. But I don't think they will. I've seen men who want to commit crimes. These people want to live. There's a difference. The territorial governor won't like this. Reeves mounts his horse. The territorial governor doesn't need to know all the details. As far as he's concerned, Redemption Falls is just another frontier town that poses no threat. Sometimes, Miss Dalton, the law is about judgment, not just rules. He tips his hat and rides out. Months pass. The town changes slowly. A real school is established. The bank starts dealing with legitimate businesses. Some people leave, unwilling to live by the new restrictions. But most stay. Sarah stands in the street one evening, watching the sun set. Her father joins her. Do you regret coming here? He asks. I thought I would. I thought I'd be horrified by what I found. And are you? Sarah considers. I'm horrified by how complicated the world is. I came here thinking I knew what was right and wrong. But here, thieves are honest. Outlaws keep their word. Criminals create order. It's all backwards. Or maybe, Thomas says gently, maybe it's all exactly what it's always been. People trying to survive, to build something, to matter. The only difference is we're honest about our flaws. It's a start. The preachers stand in the shadows, watching the town he built. Silas approaches. You think Reeves will keep his word? Silas asks. I think he's a man who wants to believe people can change. We have to prove him right. And if we can't, the preacher's smile is sad. Then this beautiful, impossible experiment ends, and we go back to what we were. Scattered, running, alone. I don't want to run anymore. Neither do I. So we make this work. Sarah writes in her journal that night, by candlelight in her small room above the bank. I came to Redemption Falls expecting to save my father from his mistakes. Instead, I learned that mistakes are how we become who we are. This town shouldn't exist. These people shouldn't work together. But they do. Maybe redemption isn't about erasing the past. Maybe it's about choosing what to build with it. My father is still a thief, but he's also a man trying to be better. This town is still full of criminals. But they're criminals who chose law over chaos, community over selfishness. I don't know if that's enough, but I know it's something. And sometimes, something is all we have. In the darkness, the town sleeps. Guards patrol the borders, watching for threats from outside. Inside, behind locked doors and shuttered windows, people rest. Outlaws and criminals, yes, but also mothers and fathers, friends and neighbors, people who've chosen to build rather than destroy. Redemption Falls remains an impossible place. A frontier town run by criminals who discovered that civilization requires more courage than crime ever did. A place where the worst of humanity decided to try being better. Not perfect, just better. And in the vast American wilderness, under stars that don't judge, that's exactly what they continue to do.